अनुराग भाई मैं एक मीटिंग में हूँ फिर करता हूँ आपसे
Sure. Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Yes. Are we live, Adnan?
Yes, we are.
Hi, I'm Janisha Kiri, and thank you for joining us in this edition of ICANN Conversations Facebook Live. Let me begin this session by telling you a little bit about India COVID Action Network is an initiative to help underprivileged communities that have been hardest hit due to the unprecedented COVID-19 lockdown. It is an online platform that connects those who are in need of help and those who can provide it. Our Coven warriors work from home, activating their on-ground networks and mobilizing resources to reach vulnerable sections of the society. They are spread across the country and are increasing in numbers by the day. So far, ICANN has impacted over 4 lakh lives with the help of 4,000 plus warriors. Sorry for the technical difficulty. ICANN has so far impacted over 4 lakh lives with the help of 4,000 plus warriors and 3,400 plus NGO partners. As we are emerging from the lockdown, there is a need to help businesses revive from the changing conditions in these changed times. Jahan is an initiative of ICANN to help businesses to overcome with these changing times with innovative ideas. Today's conversation is on a very interesting topic that I'm sure all globetrotters and travel enthusiasts are. Sorry for the technical difficulty. I think I'm having some network issue.
No issues. You're back live. Go ahead.
Ideas. Today's conversation is on a very interesting topic that I'm sure all globetrotters and travel enthusiasts are wondering. Jahan, challenges in the travel and tourism sector. Let me begin with introducing our speakers for today. Our first speaker is Professor Dr. Parikshat Singh Manhas. He is a professor in the Faculty of Business Studies and the Director of Business Incubation and Innovation Center at the University of Jammu. He is also the Regional Director, Asia and Eastern Europe for CED, World Center of Excellence for Destinations, and the President of the Commerce Management Association of India. He's also a fellow of the Australia and India Institute, New Delhi. Presently, he is the visiting professor at the Taylor's School of Hospitality, Tourism and Culinary Arts, Taylor's University, Malaysia, and Emirates Academy of Hospitality Management, Dubai, United Arab Emirates. I welcome you, Professor Parikshat.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
Our second speaker is Mr. Jarnail Singh. He is the business head of the special interest stores at Yatra Online Private Limited, situated in Gurgaon. He specializes in international travel and hospitality. I welcome you, Mr. Jarnail. I thank you for joining us today, Professor Parikshat and Mr. Jarnail. I would like to begin by asking with the first question is that how has the pandemic affected the travel and tourism sector? If Professor Parikshat, you would like to put a little light on that.
Well, these are tough times. Indeed, these are very, very tough times for the travel and tourism industry. It has impacted us in a very, very big manner, in a huge manner. At this moment, I'm not talking about when the pandemic started or in April or in the month of May, but at this moment, only seven destinations, that's not seven countries, but only seven destinations are open for international borders or international travel. And more than 67% of destinations are closed. At this moment, we are calculating, and mind it, these figures are changing every day. We are calculating a loss of more than 1 to 1.2 trillion US dollars. That's a huge amount. And vis-a-vis shortfall of tourists or passengers is concerned, tourist travel is more than 100 million, 100 to 120 million tourists we have lost. So that's a huge impact. I think our industry, this in our lifetimes and in the foreseeable future, I don't see such a big impact on tourism and travel industry. And this is one of the hardest industries. Why? Because we had a very wide network. We are connected to every 10th person in this world is connected to hospitality and tourism industry in one direct or indirect manner. So it has impacted each one of them. So you can well imagine what is the quantum of loss. At this moment, as I said, more than 67% of destinations around the globe are totally closed. They are not allowing any travel. Seven destinations have opened up and a couple of destinations are looking at. But I don't know how long it is going to take. But at this moment, what I see is that we have hit the rock bottom vis-a-vis tourism and hospitality industry is concerned.
Mr. Jarnail, if you could put a little bit light on that, if you'd like to tell us a little bit about the current scenario. Mr. Jarnail.
Yeah, please. I was not able to hear you. Can you repeat the question? Namaste to everyone.
So I was just saying that, if you could also put a little bit light on what the current scenario is in the travel and tourism industry, the sector, a little bit, if you would like to say a few words on that.
Yeah, so as Dr. Manhas has rightly mentioned that right now at the moment most of the destinations are closed globally and even domestically also. All the different states have their different rulings for the tourists and for the movement of the people at the borders. Even I'm staying in Gurgaon, so every day we have a different ruling from Delhi government or from Haryana government or from Rajasthan government. But at the end of the day, we all are sure that we are in a belief that definitely tourism is going to come back and we will be coming out of this more stronger. So that's my feeling on
that. Right. So now that the movement has been restricted to national destinations only, will there be a change in the dynamics of the travelers? As in, we will be there will be less international or no international tourists now, and a lot of business will be lost. So what is the plan or the strategy to attract more national tourists? And will there be different new destinations that will come out as a result of there being less places to visit because of the number of cases in the country?
See, I'll just let you know that at this moment, what we are anticipating, since UNWTO also has come out with tourism assistance package, and we are talking about a lot of resilience from the tourists as well as tourism development organizations or TMCs or DMOs. We are at this moment concentrating, or what we are anticipating is that the first thing that will bounce back, by first I mean say within the tourism industry. Tourism and hospitality industry is going to be either the second last or the last within the service sector and within the whole economic scenario or the ecosystem to bounce up. But it will be the fastest. Mind my words, it will be very fast to growth. But what we are looking within the tourism and hospitality industry is the first thing that is going to pick up is going to be domestic tourism. That's going to be the people are going to look more inwards than outwards. People are not going to look outwards that much. Why? Because of the fact that there is going to be lack of trust. So they are not going to look outwards, they'll start looking inwards. And within inwards also, if I have to travel or if any tourist has to travel, keeping into mind all the safety scenario and the SOPs that the government of India and respective governments of various countries have come out with, and all the directions and all that. He or she would not travel more than 100 to 150 kilometers. So he'll be traveling within 150-kilometer radius, and probably not cross the borders of their state, so that they don't have to go into some other state. So domestic tourism within the state is going to be one of the first things. And the second thing is the travel which is supported by emotions. And emotional travel is your religious tourism. So that is going to be the one of the forefront things. As we know, from 8th of June, all the religious places have opened up, and there are so many religious shrines. We have Mata Vaishno Devi over here, Amarnath in Jammu and Kashmir, so Baba Ghulam Shah over here. So a lot of people would be thinking of going to religious shrines. By temperament, we all are very religious people. Indian subcontinent is very, very religious, and in these tough times, I think everybody is going to try and pray to the God the first foremost. So he or she would definitely would like to go. So this is going to be the changing trend. I think world over, this is going to be the change. Domestic tourism, localized tourism is going to pick up. I would not like to travel in a something which is convented like metro or train or aeroplane or buses. I would like to have my own car or own van where my family sits in, four people who all are sanitized and everything is there, who trust each other. So as I told you, trust is the very important aspect. Even in fact, UNWTO also refers to the fact that trust is going to be the new currency. Trust is going to be the new currency. If you don't trust something, you are not going to do that. So trust will be that I drive myself, I go to a local place, and I would start visiting these particular places. So it's not that if a destination, local destination in Maharashtra is developed up, somebody from Jammu and Kashmir will go over there. Maharashtrians will themselves be visiting that particular place. So that's what the DMOs or the travel companies or the travel management companies have to look at it. That whatever is around them, whatever is localized, try to develop them, try to see to it who are the clients who are going to visit them, and try to rebuild and reorient them.
Right. Mr. Jarnail, if you would like to say a few words about this here.
So at the business level, what we had seen in different companies, all the companies are following the slogan given by the government of India. So what they are following is Dekho Apna Desh. So as Dr. Manhas has mentioned, that domestic is going to open up first, and that's why all the major travel companies are following this model of Dekho Apna Desh. And secondly, if you see from the time we have opened up our domestic skies, at the moment till yesterday, there are 65 lakh people who had already traveled during this time, and these are those people who got stuck due to any X reason, or they have some, I can say, some travel which is must for them. And now what we are feeling that within down the line, after 1 month, there will be a travel which is out of this scenario where people will definitely travel for leisure purpose. But as I said, that the first travel would be of 100 to 150 kilometers, where an individual initially pick up his own car and think about the trust, whether his family is safe or not. So the first travel, what we at our level is also feeling is of the domestic territory within a territory span of 100 to 150 kilometers at the max, not an interstate travel between two states.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Also, this is something that, everybody is asking, all the travelers, frequent travelers, globetrotters, travel enthusiasts, they've been asking, when will it finally be safe, to travel somewhere? Is there some kind of a timeline, when, the travel and tourism industry can pick up? And second is, how safe will it be for the travelers to, move out of their houses, go to these destinations, have a vacation, and enjoy themselves, most importantly?
See, as far as we are concerned, or as far as things are moving, government of India has already opened up, and the airlines have started operating, and things are moving. But how safe it is to travel, that all depends primarily on very important factor, that is vaccine. So the moment you have the vaccine and moment that mindset starts evolving, after that only things will start improving and people will start gaining confidence in their travel. At this moment, people are a little bit forced to travel, as Jarnail referred to, that these people were stuck in different places. They wanted to go home, or they wanted to go for a leave, or they are they had some medical issues and all those issues because of which they are traveling. But actual travel, when we say fearless travel, is going to start only once the vaccine is there in the market, once all the SOPs are properly being followed, and that is all dependent upon the medical industry, or how soon they get that particular vaccination. What I feel is, at this moment, till August or September, there are no, by the news and by all the things that we are getting and the feedback that we are getting from the industry, till at least till September, we don't see any chance of that vaccine coming. So once that vaccine comes and we see the results of that particular thing, I think there'll be a fearless travel. Before that, obviously, there'll be travel, but that'll be fearful. That will be bound by some external contingencies. For example, we have all businesses opening up now. Manufacturing is starting. So we have a very important aspect of our tourism, and one very important arm is MICE, meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibitions. I don't know about incentives and conferences, but at least meetings. A lot of meetings are happening online. But once there will be huge amount of deals covered, somebody will have to visit. Somebody will have to go and see the production facility. So those people will be traveling. And then we also have to see, as exhibitions are there, somebody has to showcase his products. Obviously, Zoom and all these features have come in and they are supporting it, but they'll still be supporting, because if you're doing a deal worth $100 million or $50 million or $10 million, obviously you would want a personal repo and you would like to meet those people. So till that time, it will be forced travel. But yes, there will be some travel, but it will be forced. But fearless, obviously, not till the time we don't have a vaccine and we don't have some sort of a SOP from the WHO and the leading countries that this is now the way forward.
Right. One of our viewers has a question. Mr. Sumit Zalpuri. He says that Baltic countries in Europe have come up with a concept called travel bubble. Is it something that can be feasible in our country, and is our government or industry giving it a thought?
What's the question? Can you repeat it? I have not. Can you repeat the question?
Yeah.
He's my class. He's from Amsterdam.
Okay, I'll just repeat myself. Baltic countries in Europe have come up with a concept called travel bubble. And is it feasible in our country?
So at the moment, see, Europe is opening up. Even Greece has opened up, Slovenia has opened up, Croatia has opened up, and even Australia, even New Zealand, day before yesterday, they had declared themselves corona-free. Outbound travel from India is only possible when, as Dr. Manhas has mentioned, that when there are so many factors in that. Firstly, the vaccine. Secondly, the acceptance of the host country for the Indians. Now coming to his question that whether it is possible in India, what I feel that people will start moving once they will be sure that their family is safe. Firstly, now secondly, regarding this bubble, what he has mentioned, I had not checked it what exactly it is and how they are promoting it. I have to check that first, that how they are doing it. But definitely, if it is feasible in India, definitely we are happy to promote it in our country too. So that is the answer. But firstly, we have to see by when we are going to travel, and I would like to add that what at industry level we are feeling that by the end of October or by the starting of November, we are feeling that travel will start begin to pick up. By August, September, we may start getting inquiries, but the real phase, I can say, will happen by the month of November or October, by October end, in the domestic market. At the moment, the demand is.
I'll tell you about this. What happens, Janisha, that obviously these are three very small countries which have opened it up. For your information, this is Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. So these three countries have, these three Baltic countries have opened up. And what they have done actually is that amongst them, the people can travel within those 3 countries. I think combined population of these 3 countries is a lot less than what the population of Maharashtra is. So we cannot compare the scenario of a travel bubble within these Baltic countries to us. What practically they are trying to do is that within these 3 countries, you can travel anywhere. They are not stopping anybody. Anybody outside these 3 travel countries coming from those zones will have to quarantine for 14 days. But that's what we are actually doing within our country also. So travel bubble, obviously we have a travel bubble. Everybody is allowed to travel within Jammu and Kashmir. Everybody is allowed to travel within Delhi. Everybody is allowed to travel in Maharashtra. So we have even a bigger bubble on our places. But getting that model and saying that now we should be able to allowed to travel to Sri Lanka or to Nepal, that is not going to happen at this moment. And obviously we are now, I think, in top 5 vis-a-vis coronavirus cases are concerned. So we Indians are going to have a lot of issues in times to come vis-a-vis their international travel is concerned. So international travel is a very, very far-fetched position at this moment. How it's going to happen, I think every fortnight the conditions change, but not this travel bubble concept vis-a-vis these 3 small countries getting replicated in India at this moment is totally out of question.
Right. Talking about how, traveling within the states is something that may be possible, in the next few weeks. Some of these states, which are the most visited states, have a lot of COVID-19 positive cases. In such a situation, the businesses that are located within these states, how can they, survive or revive, or what kind of strategies could they possibly, look out for to get back, on track or get the ball rolling as such?
As far as I am concerned, I'm following obviously all the latest updates that are going on within the tourism industry internationally and nationally. But a very important factor now is, as I mentioned, that trust is going to be a very important factor. So that trust needs to be built up. Now, how that trust is going to be built up? That trust is always built up through experience and through word of mouth. Now, what is going on at this moment is how the coronavirus impacted people are being treated, how a state is responding, how people within that state are responding. We are getting very, very negative cases at this moment. Today in the morning only, I was looking at that lady which was refused an entry from 13 hospitals and she eventually died. That was so pathetic and it's so bad, that inhuman. So all this does not restore the confidence of a customer or a tourist or a person to venture out of his place. So until unless that confidence is not restored, that those measures regarding those are not taken vis-a-vis that people are made comfortable, I think nobody is going to travel at this moment. And another very important factor over here is we cannot just question the states also, because states are also overburdened. They are also overwhelmed by the number of cases that are coming, how people are getting impacted, and how people like in Maharashtra and Dharavi, or I was looking at the story vis-a-vis the Delhi zone slums near Kalkaji, how people are getting impacted over there and all that. So that is the first priority at this moment. Tourism obviously is a very important aspect of our economic ecosystem, and tourism is the one when the major turnarounds were there in this world, be it 2001 bubble burst or 2008 economy loss, or Cyprus or Greece, when they were just on the brink. Tourism was the only one that revived. But tourism drives on confidence. Tourism drives on trust, and that is going to take time until and unless the states and the governments don't start focusing on this. It's not going to grow. But I don't blame them also. I don't expect them to start focusing on all these issues at this moment, because there's something more important. Lives of people are more important. Lives of our Indian citizens are more important. So they are rightly concentrating on something very important. Once they are able to control it, then the things would shift. So we'll see another 15 days, 20 days, 30 days. There might be some positive news coming out.
Right. Mr. Jarnail, if you want to add something to this.
Yeah, as sir has mentioned that at the moment, any individual would like to travel only with a condition when he feels that it's really safe to travel along with his family. And in that prospect, what I feel at my level that before group holidays, where families used to travel together. I think that the business travel will open up first, where the individuals are traveling alone normally to attend their business meets or to attend the exhibition or to attend any type of meeting where they are required to travel alone. And the strategies what you have questioned that what they have to follow at the moment, they have to simply wait. But down the line, as I mentioned in my previous question also, that previous answer also, that by October end, we are thinking that things will begin to change, and by that time only things are going to be start moving for those things. So right now they have the option of wait, and right now trust is the major issue that is stopping everyone to travel. And this COVID
Right.
is again on a rise.
Right. When we talk about businesses, reviving in October, November-ish, uh, what about the small businesses or entrepreneurs, that are within this industry? Uh, what kind of strategy or what kind of steps can they take to, again, get them back on track? Will they be able to survive and sustain through these tough times?
Uh, that's a very difficult question and a very tricky question with no definite answer. But what I keep suggesting all my students who are entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs, my school where I was director, we produced around 90 first generation entrepreneurs, and they were doing very well. But unfortunately, everything has come to a standstill, and it's not something that you are getting a loss of 10%, 20%, or 50%. You have 100% wipeout. You have 100% wipeout. People are there without salaries, without anything. But the fact is that what I keep telling them is reorient and rebuild these yourself. This is the time when when the technology hits us and our computer hangs, we try to reboot it, we restart it, and so this is the time to restart. I know it's easier said than done, because if you have a family of 3 to feed or 4 to feed, and you have elder parents and you have kids and you have wife at home to take care of, I don't think so it's that easy. But we don't have any other options at this moment. So I always keep telling them, reorient yourself, rebuild yourself, look at the brighter things. And as far as the students are also concerned, the young students, I've been telling them that try to acquire new and improved skills. Obviously, there's going to be a great demand for tourism, and I'll share you with very heartening example. In the morning only, early in the morning, I got a message from one of the professors from Australia, and she was saying that our admissions are not down. That means our admissions are 100% full. People are joining with enthusiasm. We have got so many emails and everything coming up. And because we as hospitality practitioners and stakeholders were thinking that people are not going to accept hospitality and tourism now. People as students are not going to join. But the way she told me, and she's a leading professor in Australia, she told me that it's like we were also worried that because most of the universities have to build up their own funds. If they don't get students, they'll not survive. It's not like India where we get government funding. They have to create their own money. So they were very worried that we are going to start losing jobs, but that hasn't happened. Vis-a-vis, coming back to the young entrepreneurs and coming back to the young students, what I can say is that strategize. Don't lose contact with your peers, with your customers, with your suppliers, with your employees. Don't lose contact. This is the worst mistake that anybody is going to make, that you lose your contact, and because I may not need them, I don't call them up. Be in touch with them. Be in touch with your bosses. Be in touch with your peers. Be in touch with your employees. Be in touch with your leads, your customers. Tomorrow or day after, things are going to be all right, and the people who had maintained these contacts are going to grow. Everybody understands. Even if somebody calls me up and tells me that I cannot make a payment or this thing is happening, I understand. I know what's going on in the market. I'm an entrepreneur also. Along with the professor, I'm an entrepreneur also. I have my own works going on, and we are giving that much amount of leverage to everyone, and people are giving that leverage to me also. So this is being worked out. We are holding each other's hands, but stay put. Don't just panic. Don't just get those crazy ideas in your mind that I'm going to throw away everything, I'm going to do this. Don't let the fear conquer you. You have to conquer the fear. and things are going to improve. And it's very heartening the way Government of India is coming up. They are coming with a lot of SOPs for various industries. Obviously, they still have to come out with for tourism and hospitality, but they will surely, because everybody knows that tourism and hospitality is not at the prime focus at this moment. Maybe another 10 days down the road or another 1 month, it's going to be at prime focus. At this moment, is the prime focus is our manufacturing, our migrant laborers, and our COVID patients, and all these industries. So they are working on that. So, but I only thing that if they would ask me would be that stay put and stay fixed and stay focused.
Right. Mr. Jarnail, if you would like to add something.
Yeah, what I feel that travel will remain to be there from the time we have this human civilization. Man loves to travel from the very beginning. So at a bigger level, the companies like Yatra or the other peer companies we have, they are coming up with new products. Basically, we come up with this product called Yatra, where we have a package starting from 50,000 at the moment, where an individual can take a holiday, can take a domestic hotel for next 3 years, or they have an option for next 5 years. That is at a major level, but at an entrepreneurial level, what you have mentioned right now, the most important thing for everyone is to keep the touch base with their client right now, and they have to wait for the time. Even the customer is also aware that this is not the time to travel, and even the other challenge what they are facing is the money which got stuck, what they had paid for their travelers, those who had booked for this period, and now even the customers are also understanding that this amount has been stuck with the airline or with the overseas hotel where they had paid, or with the domestic hotel where they had paid. Right now, the most important thing for each one of us is to keep the touch base, keep the marketing, promotion, everything on, and try to minimize your expenses. That is the best thing what we can advise to the young entrepreneurs at the moment. So that's the only.
Right. Coming back to what Professor Parikshat said, that the government will be playing a huge role in this situation by coming up with mandates, SOPs, rules. What are the kind of mandatory actions that the government may or should come up with? With one is keeping the traveler in perspective, and second is keeping the businesses, the tourism businesses in perspective. What are the kind of actions that should be taken up on both ends?
See, to begin with, obviously, government has to come up with some technical assistance packages, technical assistance recovery packages, what we can build it up like that. So they have to come out with it. They will obviously come out, I'm very sure, but it has to be something where they can at least provide some sort of assistance, some sort of development to the various stakeholders within the tourism businesses. That's just not, I'm just not talking about the hoteliers or the airlines, the big players, but I'm also talking about the small players, the travel agents. I'm talking about the people who are at the lower end of the food chain. So I'm talking about those particular people. So they have to come out with some sort of subsidies for them, some sort of avenues for them. And the most important aspect is, which I always feel that governments are not usually able to handle, is the trickle down effect. The trickle down effect has to be right till the bottom. So that means every incentive that you are trying to give to people, that has to reach to the people at the lowest end. The porters at the airports, the coolies at the railway stations, at the bus stands, or other hawkers at these particular places, and other people who are managing, or the small travel agents, the ticket booking agents. Obviously, travel agents are the ones who give the packages for the destinations and who built up a whole ambit around tourism. But there are some small players who only work on ticket booking, train ticket booking or rail reservation or air reservation, where they hardly get $100 or $40 or $50 per ticket. So that's very, so these people need to be benefited. So we need to see to it that this larger base that we have of entrepreneurs in this particular industry, how they can be worked up, how they can be built up, how they can be groomed properly, and they can be brought up again. That's a very, very important aspect. And vis-a-vis tourists are concerned, what the government can see to is it is that they could come out with such like policies where proper, effective, efficient SOPs are implemented. As we have seen in the case of airports, they have sanitized all the airports, and they have come out with a way there is contactless check-in and check-out, and boarding is also contactless. So that's a very important aspect. But they have to keep continuously evolve. Keep continuously evolving and see to it that whatever new protocols internationally are prevalent, they are also brought up over here. You keep testing and you keep seeing to it that what new protocols are required and how they can be built up. That is a very important aspect that they have to look at it. And government has to ensure one very important aspect vis-a-vis the leading brands of hotels or airlines is concerned, that these top brands or these airlines or these hoteliers don't get greedy. Sometimes what happens is your greed drives you, and sometimes you're, because of this particular greed, you don't follow these SOPs. You make small little mistakes which multiply in a very big manner. So that's why I say technical assistance packages where government has to constantly monitor them and see to it that they actually are not driven by greed. So even if they earn a penny less, but they at least follow all the SOPs, all the protocols in entirety. I'm not saying that they are not doing it at this moment, but enforcement should be there. Such informal agencies or tourism policing should be there, that they do it for all times to come. Because even a small mistake at this juncture can lead to a big fall.
Right. Mr. Jarnail, if you would want to add something to this.
Yeah, as sir has covered all the major aspects, what we feel that government of India should design a plan where the bottom end of the chain must be covered up to the top, and government can do it if they will come up with a fund and they have all the details for all the travel companies which are operating in India, because at the moment we all are filing our GSTs and they have the GST numbers registered with them, and we feel that there is a time that they can bail out this industry, because our industry was the first one to be impacted from this, and we feel that this must be the last one to come out, and there are people who are in need of the package at the moment.
Right.
Yeah, I'll add something more over here. What
Right.
my suggestion to the government is that since we still feel that there are other priorities, but they should at least come out with some tourism crisis committee. What I feel is that government of India should come out with some tourism crisis committee, because by the time our turn comes, maybe after another 15 days or 1 month or 2 months, this committee has already done its homework and they have already had the things in place. So this is what my suggestion is, that they could have some sort of a tourism crisis committee which could work on these technical packages, technical assistance packages, which could always work towards building up SOPs vis-a-vis safe and seamless travel, or which could work on restoring the confidence, which is the key priority at this moment, restoring the confidence of all the stakeholders. So which could do all these things at the back end. You know what UNWTO has done it? UNWTO has tied up with CNN. And what they're trying to do with CNN is they are producing these 60-second clips where they're trying to show destinations, positive impacts being done by destinations. So are we in touch with UNWTO? Is our tourism crisis committee in touch with them? I'm not sure about it. So is government of India thinking of building up these 60-second clips so that moment the tourism turn of our industry comes, they don't have to look here and there. हमारे यहाँ usually what happens is you start running around once your turn comes. You are not prepared for it. What I feel is that at the back end, there are professionals like Jarnail, like me, or there are many other professionals who are sitting idle at this moment. So their services could be used. They should be working on building up some sort of these 60-second clips. They should be helping this tourism crisis committee ki ye kar lo, do this, work on this. So moment your turn comes, you are all fresh up, you are all prepared, and you are raring to go. So they have tied up with CNN. Why can't we do something over here with we are such good channels over here? Then vis-a-vis innovation is concerned. Are we doing something vis-a-vis tourism innovation is concerned? I don't think so at this moment. So government could also start promoting this innovation sort of a culture. UNWTO has tied up with Google also, and they are working with various innovative strategies or innovative partnerships with Google. So what are we doing over here? We are such a big market. We are one of the biggest markets in the world. So what I feel is that वो जिसे कहते हैं हिंदी में दूरदर्शिता, that is not there. We are not foreseeing our future, what is to be done. So this is what I would, if government looks for an advice from my end, this is what I'm going to suggest to them.
Right. So we have a question from one of our viewers saying that you talked about government technical assistance packages. On the same lines, do you see big industry players like Yatra, Make My Trip, etc. Can they pitch in and help the whole ecosystem?
See, I think Jarnail can answer that better, but I'll just tell you one very important aspect. These big industry players, they are big brands, yes, but do they have that amount of financial backing? I'm not sure of at this moment, because they are also hitting rock bottom. So they are also hitting bottom now at this moment. I don't think so they will be able to assist other people at this moment. I think even if they are able to take care of their own employees, that's going to be a very, very big thing. So my suggestion is each one for their own selves. So these big brands, which they're actually brands, so if they can help their own employees and take care of their employees, I think they should be doing enough. So I'm from my end, I don't think so they can assist in building up or rebuilding the whole ecosystem. Yes, they are big names because of the technology and the dissemination of the information on through internet and social media is so fast that you suddenly realize that this is a very, very big company. But actually, they're just big in a brand, as we have heard about that one of the big top brands, Hertz, the car who used to give cars on rent, they have gone bankrupt, who had such a big thing. So what I personally feel as an outsider, I don't think so. Jarnail can add to it.
No, the situation is same, and whatever our company has done, it is in public domain, and nothing even the bigger brands like Make My Trip, Yatra, or Thomas Cook has hidden or they had kept it among themselves. They had kept it in the public domain, and everything is open. And it's right that if all these major brands are able to save their own house, that is the best thing they can contribute towards the tourism industry. And at the moment, none of the companies having the bandwidth to support people down the chain. So they are all these companies are trying to minimize their own expenses, and they are trying to figure out how to pass or how to move ahead of this tough time at the moment. And everywhere you have heard that we have salary cuts, we have layoffs, and we have restructuring. So that is the thing which is going on in most of the bigger brands at the moment. So
Right.
at the moment,
So,
they can't help. Yeah, that's the answer. We are not able to help out, and we are not in a position.
right. So, talking about investment and finances, what is the future of financiers who invest in this sector? What is going to be their, uh, you know, uh, future or the scope of investment in the tourism sector? If you would like to throw a little bit light on that.
I'll just add to the earlier question also. One very important aspect that we can look at is that there are even bigger entities within our country as well as in the outside world who are entrenched vis-a-vis their CSR activities are concerned. So that is going to be play a very major role. In fact, UNWTO's World Ethics Committee has found out that a lot of companies internationally have gone way beyond their CSR levels to help out or to reach out to people who actually need it. So there are even bigger brands available who can actually do some CSR work vis-a-vis upliftment of these people in tourism is concerned. You were asking about the financial aspect vis-a-vis should anybody invest within this particular company, or should anybody invest within the tourism and travel business at this moment. From a business angle, purely at this moment, if you are already invested, stay put over there. But if you want to invest at this moment, just hold back your cards. I would not suggest that you should put your money into travel and tourism industry at this moment. You should hold back your cards until unless you are able to innovate in a very smart way. Obviously, the other day I was having a discussion where I thought of very important concept that we mice. virtual meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibitions. And leisure tourism, virtual leisure tourism. So a lot of people are going to look at virtual things, virtually a destination, how it is. So until unless you can give that particular tinge to your company or to your money, otherwise I would not suggest at this moment to invest in this particular industry. Once we have things back on track, then the scenario will change.
Right. So, coming back to the tourist, there are many who had planned vacations throughout these, 3-4 months from March to June. A lot of them had also made their reservations and are not able to fly out due to the global crisis, national crisis, etc. Is there any kind of compensation that will be offered, or will their tickets be, postponed, or what kind of, planning will happen over there? And how soon can international destinations be made open or made available for these tourists?
So what happens right now? Those who had booked right now, all the major airlines towards international travel or for the domestic travel. So there is a difference. So one is where you have a group booking, where there are people traveling in a corporate group or in a MICE movement, dealer incentive tour, or the second one is where the individual has booked the ticket at their own. In most of the cases, airlines are offering the rollovers where the individuals have paid up, and in some of the cases they had refunded the money also. But coming to the OTAs, the online travel agents, there we got the refunds. You must have heard that the companies are not refunded to the customers in some of the cases. But
Yes.
yeah, so in there, most of the companies has followed the process of again the rollover, because what happens technically, airlines always return the or reverse the money in the credit shell of the company. It's not a physical refund. For example, it's not coming into my bank account. It's, for example, if you have a wallet, it's coming into my wallet. I can customer at the end, end user is not having a wallet basically. So we have to physically refund the money, which at the moment all the companies are cash strapped. So that's why companies are offering rollover. Coming to the hotels, where the individuals had directly paid or they had booked through any of the agents, local ones or the bigger players. Even the hoteliers are holding up to the payment what they had received to take care of their expenses, and they again are offering the rollover. And what was your next question after that?
Is that, will there be any international destinations that will be made open to tourists, and how soon will that, uh, you know,
So what
anticipated date for
so
that?
what we are feeling that in domestic market, in India we have 5 lakh travelers a day. So the government is saying when we have the capacity of at least 50%, it's not a written mandate, but what we had heard is that once the capacity will reach to the 50%, at that time maybe government will come up opening the international skies. At the moment, we have an average passenger of 65,000 a day, and we are talking about 2.5 lakh a day. That's an approximate figure I am sharing with you. And uh, right now, only those people are traveling, those who are stuck due to any XYZ reason. As I had mentioned earlier, that by next month, this type of travel is already over, and there will be people who are traveling for other reasons also, and there maybe we have people traveling for leisure purpose also, or for meetings or for business visits. So that's the answer, that once we have the half of the capacity at least in domestic sector, then only we are then we can expect a nod from the government to open up the international skies, and then it depends upon the host nation also to accept citizens of our country, wherein right now we are increasing day by day on corona calendar. So I think that we have to contain that also at some point to open the international skies for ourselves, and even the other players, the other airlines, or the I mean the international airlines, what I mean to say, they are willing to fly into India. Even day before yesterday, Lufthansa has said that they are ready to fly out the empty flights from Frankfurt or Munich to India, and they are ready to fly out the passengers from Indian market to wherever they are willing to travel. So basically, it
And
depends both ways. Yeah.
so regarding the same, we have a question from one of our viewers that what kind of measures can big players like online portals or such as Yatra and other such portals, travel portals, what kind of measures can they take for the safety of the passengers or the tourists or the travelers?
See, these measures depend
So
upon. Yeah. You want to take the question, or should I?
no, you can answer. I can add on into it, sir. Please.
Okay.
Right.
So what I feel at this moment is that the measures are going to be at various levels. Now it depends upon whether you are into the hotels or whether you are in the travel. Now vis-a-vis airlines are concerned or railways are concerned, obviously one very important factor that is going to be is sanitization, and the second aspect is going to be the flexibility. Now you must have, everybody, each one of us must have had flown, and most of us fly, and whenever we are about to land, Indigo or Go, they take pride in the fact that we have before time arrival or XYZ and all those things. And within 30 minutes or 25 minutes, their turnaround is there. What I feel is now the airlines have to increase their turnaround time. They cannot turn around in 20 minutes or 30 minutes, and government cannot allow them to turn around within 30, because they have to see to it that this is the point where I earlier said that they should not be overwhelmed by their greed. They should be more caring towards their tourists. So what they have to do is that they have to sanitize whole of the plane. So that is going to be very, very important. Second aspect which these airlines could do is that is flexibility. Now, flexibility is going to be the very, very important aspect that is concerned. Now, flexibility vis-a-vis your pricing is concerned, vis-a-vis refunds are concerned. That's going to be a very important aspect. And insurance companies will also pitch into this, and they'll play a very important role. You cannot, if somebody turns up at the airport, he must be fit, fine, but maybe a night earlier, he might get some fever because of that. And when they do their thermal checks, he's found not fit to travel. Obviously, that person will be turned back, but he should be given full refund. Flexibility at that particular moment is going to be a very, very important aspect, because these are the small little measures which will restore confidence of the people. Vis-a-vis hotels are concerned, again, what I feel is that they have to come out with that trustworthy measures where they have to see to it. Now, if we had a room which could hold a banquet for 200 people, now we can only hold a banquet for 70 or 75 people over in that particular room, because we want to keep physical distancing. So this is what hotels need to understand. Their greed should not overpower them, and they should not hold a banquet for 200 people in the same room and eventually cram them up and all that. Obviously, there's going to be no buffets in time to come. Room service is going to be provided over there. So whosoever is doing their room service, they should be clean and proper people. You have to take care of your staff. You have to keep providing, follow all the SOPs vis-a-vis your staff is concerned. So all these small little measures are very, very important vis-a-vis the airlines and the hotels are concerned, and vis-a-vis their working is concerned. That's.
Would like
Yeah.
to add on to this, and then we like move on to our last question for the session.
Sorry, Janisha, we lost you. I think there was some technical hiccup. You said something?
Yeah.
I think Janisha is still having some technical problems. I'll in the meantime, I'll add to the earlier question. I think I'll take over. So Janisha, you are back, or? So I'll take over. I'll just refer to one of the earlier things where the participant had asked about the question regarding how soon the international travel can start and how soon the international travel can work up. It's a two-way process. The international travel is a two-way process. It's not how soon the destination opens up, but it's how soon we are willing to go to that destination and how soon we are accepted into that destination. Now, along with our passports, we are going to carry that health card also, that how good is the city or the state or the country from where I'm traveling. That's also going to be a very, very important aspect. So it's not going to be that the destination is open and we are going to travel. As I already said, that 3% of the global destinations, around 7 to 8 global destinations have eased international travel restrictions, and they have taken significant steps, or significant discussions are being taken up vis-a-vis reopening of these particular destinations. But the basic point is that who are the people who will be allowed to enter in these destinations? As we were talking about that Baltic bubble, so they are only allowing those 3 countries, people from only those 3 countries. On paper, they are open for international travel, but only people from those 3 countries have a seamless, safe travel. So that's going to be a very, very important aspect. It's not just that whether they are open, but who they are allowing to enter into their destinations. That's going to be it.
Right.
Sorry, I took your.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm just like being kicked out. There's some network issue on my end. Really sorry for that. Yeah. So I think this is the last question for this session. Is that in the current situation, will the rates of the tourism packages be offered? What kind of changes in the rates will be there? Will there be an increase, or will there be discounts for the tourist?
See, what
Mr. Jarnail, if you would like to take this.
So now you have seen that we have to analyze on airline front. The Supreme Court has given the ruling to keep the middle seat vacant, and on the hotel part, in terms of pricing, since I had attended many hotelier conferences, so what they are saying, they are also ready to support the industry, and what they are saying that we are not going to hike the prices, or we are not going to lower prices so much that wherein we are not able to manage our expenses also. So they are also trying to keep the cost low at their end, so that at least they can make out their running cost itself. So initially, or once this sector, the tourists will start moving out, I don't think so the rates will become so higher until and unless there is a major demand push from the consumer side, and which is I think will pick up gradually, not at not on an immediate level, what I mean to say. So the rates will remain flat, what I think that down the line for next 6 to 8 months or for a year, because even you have heard that so many countries outside of India, they are incentivized to, they are trying to offer free nights in Sicily, also in Italy, or in Cancun in Mexico. If someone is traveling, they are ready to offer 2+1 night combo free at the moment. Within India, what I know that hoteliers, they are not going to raise the rates immediately. They also want to generate the demand first, and afterwards they will come to a business model where they can make out some money. But initially, there won't be that much impact on the land services. And coming on the airline part, we are again waiting what airlines are going to come up with the pricing for the middle seat, keeping it vacant. And on transporter side, I think that previously people were happy to travel in a group, but now that is again a challenge when we have more than 8 to 10 or 2 different families. Are they willing to travel together? So in that case, we have to look into the factor how we are going to minimize the transport cost for that major part of the package. So that is the segment where but certainly everyone is understanding this is the time to revive the industry first, and everyone is very positive and they are supporting each other. So I don't think so immediately there would be any price rise on the package cost in a short period of time.
Professor Parikshat, sorry I interrupted you earlier. If you would like to add on to this.
I'll just quickly add it into this is, I'm conscious of the time. It's 4:58 now. So I'll quickly add one very important aspect is that customers, I don't think though established tourists will be that worried about the pricing factor because of 2 things. If earlier I used to have 5 vacations in a year or 4 vacations in a year, now I'll have only 1 vacation in a year. So I will also cut back on my vacation. So I think that cost consciousness will not be there that much. I don't expect a decrease in price, but I do expect that prices either will remain flat or will increase within the ambit of plus minus 10%. So that's what is going to be the whole game at this moment. Already tourism and hospitality industry had very, very narrow margins compared to the fact that amount of service that they had to provide. Hotels, like, we need fresh linen every day, we need all these soaps and all these things. So their margins are already squeezed. So I don't expect a decrease in cost, but I don't expect that much increase in cost also. And I don't think that the tourist will be that cost conscious also, because he'll have more money at his disposal because he'll be traveling less. So that is what is going to be a trade-off over here. But I feel that in times to come, obviously, in order to attract larger numbers, some soaps have to come in.
Definitely. Okay, any final remarks, Professor Parikshat?
From my side, I would just like to say that for the travel and tourism industry stakeholders, one very important aspect is your self-care. You have to take care of yourself. If you take care of yourself, the next step would be your team care. So take care of your teams. The third would be your workplace care. So take care of your workplace. So if you follow this particular chain, self-care, team care, workplace care, obviously things will be there for the betterment. Flexibility is going to be the key to resilient approach. So your resilience and your flexibility are going to be very, very key important aspects. Don't be very rigid in your strategies. Keep evolving, keep improving yourself, start getting hold of new techniques, new technology. Innovation is the buzzword. See what all you can do with this technology and what technology interventions can be brought on within your industry. That's going to be a very, very important aspect.
Thank you, Professor Parikshat. Mr. Jarnail, if you would like to, make any final remarks.
So as a professional, where we always talk about the business and the revenues and the numbers. So what I feel at my end, that yes, definitely travel is going to bounce back. It's the phase wherein we all are sailing through, and definitely we all sail it together. It's not that any ex company or an ex individual is left behind and he has to cross through the stream with his own rudder. So we all are sailing together, and definitely we are going to come back. And it's the time where we have to think positive and build up with new strategies, new products, and innovative thinking we have to do. And most importantly, we have to maintain our touch with our customer, and we have to make them believe that yes, travel is going to come back, and we are going to travel like we used to do before. So that's there, and on that formula, the whole industry is positive, and all the people around the companies are working day in day out to come out of this pandemic.
Right. Thank you so much, Mr. Jarnail. On this note, we would like to conclude this session with Professor Parikshat and Mr. Jarnail. I would like to thank you both for taking out the time to come. I know Professor Parikshat is in and out of meetings, and even Mr. Jarnail is quite busy with his schedule. So thank you for taking out the time and sharing your thoughts with our viewers on this session. It was indeed insightful and very engaging. I would also like to thank our viewers for attending this discussion. And before we go, we would like to play the ICANN theme song and end this session on a musical note.
One more thing that I usually do in my web lectures, we take a digital selfie. So let me take a digital selfie so that all three of us are there. So here's the digital selfie so that everybody is part of that. That's a memory that we can always keep. So we have a new thing. Definitely. Now your song.
Adnan.
मुश्किल है अनपढ़ी ये कैसी कठिन घड़ी सहमी सहमी जिंदगी बिखरी हुई बंदगी मानवता है पुकार रही दिखाएं हम दरिया दिली I can you can we can India can I can you can we can मिल जाए तो, मिलकर हाथ बटाए तो टल जाएगी ये घड़ी, झूमेगी फिर से खुशी। आशा टूटे नहीं, हौसला रूठे नहीं, साथ ये छूटे नहीं, मंजिल दूर नहीं। मानवता है पुकार रही, दिखाए हम दरिया दिली। I can, you can, we can, India can. I can, you can, we can, India can.
Very good. That was very nice.
Thank you and have a great day.
You too. Take care. Bye bye. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.